Hi guys, hope you're all well. Okay, question I get asked a lot, what is your favourite album? Oh my goodness. Okay, there are so many great albums out there. The ones that I got when I was a kid, I did have the Hendrix Smash Hits album, which I wasn't a massive fan of. It was pretty good. It had things like Hey Joe, Purple Haze on it, Manic Depression, Foxy Lady and stuff like that. So he's sort of big hits. And I grew to love Hendrix more when I heard Band of Gypsies and stuff like that, which is a little bit more out there, a bit more crazy, if anything. So that was one of them, possibly one of the biggest Players albums for me as a kid. And my dad told me to get this. Is called The Blues Experiment by a guy called Johnny Winter. He's an albino guy. I think he was a twin, as far as I know. And he actually, Hendrix used to play bass with him. There's a picture of Hendrix playing bass. And it's that particular album I love. I've never heard any other albums that have really blown me away by Johnny Winter. But that first album, his vocals on it are just so raw and gritty and so on. It sounds like a big sort of black guy singing on it. And his guitar, my goodness, I think he's sort of finger picking and stuff like that. I know I've seen videos of him. He uses a 12-string guitar just strung up with 6 strings on it. But just so bluesy and raunchy and technically just brilliant. And this was done in the 60s. One of the best blues albums I've ever heard. So that was a real big influence. And Peter Green as well, very big influence on me as well. Just so mellow at times when he wanted it to be. Great who went from major to minor pentatonic so smoothly. Just the best out there. And some of the tracks he did just to die for, even with John Mayall. And in fact, talking about John Mayall, the very first album, the Beano album, with Clapton on, I'm not going to confess to be the biggest Clapton fan, but that album is something else. It's just raw. It's when Clapton was young and he just wanted to go out there and feed back and everything else. And even today I listen to it, it sends shivers down my spine. So that was an amazing album. Then you've got to move on to Led Zeppelin and stuff like that. I mean, the very first Led Zeppelin is the first album that I bought by then, and that still blows me away. You know, it's got all the sort of classics. You Shook Me on their Communication Breakdown and things like that. Black Dog, that one. So that was a great album. So then you've got your AC/DC albums on there. I really like Highway to Hell on there. Power Age is a great album as well. But any of the early stuff by Bon Scott really used to blow me away. The first cut with Brian, For Those About to Rock, and Back in Black aren't bad, but I much prefer the old Bon Scott stuff, and they're on. Other ones that I really like, I'm a big Prince fan. If you've seen me live, you hear me talk about Prince, that I've managed to play with him. I'll tell you more about that on another video sometime. But I think up there, Sign of the Times is an absolute classic, and there's a couple of dodgy tracks on it, but it was a double album, so I'll let him off for that. But it's such a corking album, great songwriting, fantastic vocals, brilliant guitar. The guy had everything. It was absolutely amazing. I saw him enough times to know that. It was complete and utter genius. There's no doubt about it. He just ruled the music world. But I think possibly my ultimate album, and it won't be what you'll be thinking. It's a bit of a rarity. This won the Mercury Award many years ago, 25 years ago or something. Is Tim Buckley's son, Jeff Buckley. I mean, check Tim out as well. Song for the Siren, stuff like that. What a song. But Jeff Buckley, my God, Grace. What I did, first time I heard it, I had no lights on or anything, just had my headphones on or whatever, and it totally blew me away. And I thought, wow, that shouldn't have happened. And so I thought, I'll put it on again. And it got me again. And every time I hear it, it's such an incredible album. And the guy's got so much passion and energy in his vocals. You know, I don't think he's got a fantastic technique, but it's just so much, there's a soul in it that really works, and it's the energy that comes through. It's amazing. Another album similar to that is Nirvana's album, Nevermind. I think it's Dave Grohl that really pushes through on that album. You know, I've heard Nirvana with a different drummer, didn't have that energy. You know, I think Dave really pushes that album. Kurt, what a fantastic songwriter he was. It's simple and effective, but my God, it was excellent. And obviously, the Beatles came up with some stuff. Now, I've only got like the greatest hits and stuff like that, so I can't sort of say, people go, is it the White Album or Dr. Sergeant Pepper? He said Dr. Pepper then, on there. But you know, the Beatles stuff, I love Lennon. His solo stuff is brilliant. In fact, Lennon's Once Upon a Time, which was released I think after he passed away, and it's a lot of the off-cut stuff that, you know, wouldn't normally had out there, which is fantastic. You know, they've got some great tracks on there. I think God is on there, which is amazing. And Mother, where he's almost crying at the end because he talked about the death of his mother. It's really sad, but amazing tracks. So that's another one on there. So there's a few of the albums, and tomorrow I'll have about a million other albums that I can talk about as well that have influenced me and been big. All the Van Halen stuff, the early stuff with David Lee Roth, obviously. So mustn't forget those. But anyway, I'll see you guys soon. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll catch you on our website or one of our live gigs. See you soon. Bye.